Alright guys, welcome back to Mukbang Express. This is Derek, the editor of the channel. This might be a little different scene, but I'm going to teach you guys how to smoke ribs on a charcoal grill. It's pretty easy. You get the same results as a big pit, and it just might take a little bit more time. But you'll save a lot more money than just going out and buying a $3,000 pit. And yeah, let's get into it. First, what you'll want to do is you'll want to find a select cut of ribs that you like, baby backs, spare ribs. I'm using spare ribs. And next you'll want to just trim them up like I did here and season them up with salt, pepper, anything you like, Cajun seasoning, paprika, cayenne, and just be liberal with the seasoning because it's a pretty thick cut of meat, and so in order to get all the flavors and penetrate the meat, you'll need a lot on there. It's just like any other kind of barbecue, and I did these like a competition style, and you can leave a lot more meat on there if you want, but it's just up to you. I like the cleanness of this, and let's get into the grilling portion. Alright, next step, you'll want to set up some water pans and just any kind of liquid that you like. A lot of people do apple juice, some people just do water. I put beer on the left one, apple cider vinegar on the right, and then just regular water. This is going to give it the most amount of flavor that you can get out of it, and this will also keep the meat moist. The big thing about barbecue is you don't want it to get dry, and this will prevent that. So let's get into it. Next, you want to get any kind of charcoal that you can buy, and I just have the instant light, and then you'll get a chimney like this and put some flammable paper in the bottom and then light it up, and then wait for them to get really white like this and hot. You don't need to use too much coals because we're doing it low and slow barbecue. We don't want the temperature to get too high because these ribs are going to be on there for a good 6-7 hours. So yeah, just wait for those to heat up and we'll get on to the next step. Alright, to get the smoked flavor on the ribs, I'm going to be using cherry wood chunks. You can just go to Walmart and get these, or if you have any kind of oak tree, hickory tree, or any kind of fruit tree, you can use that. This is convenient, just buy this bag at Walmart. And cherry's a good mild flavor. It gives it tangy and mild flavor as it says. It's not too overpowering like mesquite, but if you like that, go ahead and try that. Another important step to this is get a squirt bottle and put some apple cider vinegar in it. And every 30 minutes throughout the smoke, we'll be spritzing the ribs with this to keep it moist. Just like the water pans, the key is to keep the ribs moist, and this will definitely do that. And then when we wrap it towards the end, we'll douse it in this, and that'll keep all the moisture in there. Alright, so the coals are nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and dump them in the grill. And they're gonna continue to heat up. We can go ahead and take the paper out as that's not needed anymore. And yeah, just move the coals around, get them hot, and then before you know it, we'll put the meat on there. So at the bottom of your grill, you will have these vent holes. What you'll want to do with this to maintain the best temperature is you'll want to open them about 1/4 of the way. And there's also a vent on the lid that you will want to keep this on about 1/4. And that will maintain the temperature about 275, and that's the key temperature you want to leave it on. So the next step will be putting the meat on. Alright, so the coals are nice and hot now. Before I put the grate on, I'm going to go ahead and toss a couple chunks of wood on here for the smoke flavor, and those things will start smoking immediately. And now I'm going to put the grate on. Just about ready to put the meat on. Remember, we're going to put the meat on this side, and that's going to be our hot side where the temperature is coming from. All right, so with the meat, we're gonna be going meat side up. We're gonna put it right over the pans of water and beer and apple cider. And as you see, the smoke's forming. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the top on. And make sure our vents are on 1/4 open. And in every 30 minutes, we'll be spraying it with some apple cider vinegar. All right, boys, a little progress here. We are definitely smoking as you see it coming out of the vent holes. And I'll see you guys when I spray them with apple cider. All right, guys, we're gonna take our first look at the ribs. It's been 30 minutes, and then we're gonna get ready to spray. Looking very good, got some nice progress. Don't think I'll have to add any more coals, but let's go ahead and spray them down with some apple cider. This is what you'll want them to look like is on the first 30 minutes. You know, a little bit of color, not too much. And then just spray it with apple cider. And yeah, I'll see you guys with another update in a little bit. All right, guys, a little update on the smoke. Ribs are doing good. We're about 2 hours in. Just had to add some more wood for the more smoke, and just continuing to, you know, spritz it with apple cider, make sure it stays moist, and I'll check back with y'all in about an hour, and we're gonna wrap it up and then cook it for another 2 hours. All right, guys, we're about 15 minutes from wrapping the ribs in tin foil. What you want to do at this point is get, you know, your favorite barbecue sauce. Make sure it's not too sugary. And I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there to loosen it up. And we're just going to sauce the ribs at this point before we wrap them up. So, yeah, and you'll just want to spray them with apple cider so that the sauce will spread out a little bit and it won't be all in one area. It won't clump up. And just get yourself a nice squirt bottle like this and just, you know, all over the ribs. And you know, you can spread that out however you want, and then we'll wrap them. All right, now that we got the ribs sauced up, we're gonna go ahead and go over to our tin foil. We want to get it all wet, so just spray the bottom with apple cider, and then get your barbecue sauce again, and just line the inside of that with the barbecue sauce. This is gonna be more of a dry rib. This sauce is basically going to add here and, you know, help form the bark. So now we'll go ahead and grab our ribs here. Yeah, they're feeling really good. Very hot, so just watch out for that. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll show you guys what happens after that. All right, we're back. We wrapped the ribs now. We're going to go ahead and place them back on the grill. And just place them like that. Make sure they're wrapped very nice and tight. Make sure none of the juices are getting out. And put another piece of wood back on there. And we got good temperature right now. And I'll check back with y'all when we open them up. Alright guys, the last time you saw it, they were wrapped. Now they're unwrapped. They were wrapped for 2 hours, and this is the final hour. And I'm kicking the heat up a little bit to, you know, get that outer crust on there at the final stages. I did the 3-2-1 rule, 3 hours on the smoker, and then 2 hours wrapped on it, and then another hour off. And I'll see you guys when I'm starting to cutting. Alright guys, it's time to cut into these now. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is when the fruits of your labor finally pay off. 6 hours of smoking. 3 hours just right on the grate, 2 hours in foil, and then 1 more hour without foil. So that's the 3, 2, 1 method. We're gonna cut in between each bone, and yeah. All right, so as you can see, still moist, very nice, pliable. All right, to conclude, got a nice smoke ring on the outside, and just a good rib, very moist. You know, it doesn't just fall off the bone, but you know, if you want it to come off the bone, it's gonna come off, and that's how ribs should be. And until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace out.